Okay. Today the hyenas are out. Follow me around. Okay. And they are hyenas. I just did a deposit at Wood Forest, at Walmart 62, at 3:43. Go about 5 minutes before I go in. And they're driving by. And they followed me into Canton. They followed me to work. They come in places and say stuff. It's like, you guys are like a bunch of hyenas. I go to walk in and some girl looks and yells out, they're murderous hyenas. That's what's wrong. They are. Okay. I had went to a place on Market. It used to be Cashland. I'd have to Google it. I think it's where you can sell some things. About 3 o'clock. Somebody mentioned the colonel again. I don't know a colonel. Now, the National Guard up there did help out in the case. They would show up and either walk around me or be around me. A lot of times they were saying, that's so-and-so's girlfriend. We have to take care of her. That's deployed. One time they came up to me, whose girlfriend are you? I was like, I'm no one's. I'm married. Look, the other guy looked at him and said, she's a married woman. What were husband thinking? They ran out. Besides, excuse me and thank you for opening the door. I don't know them, and I don't know no colonel. Okay? Where do you get... No, I have a neural chip. 1221, stabbed, 18, stabbed in the neck of the refrigerator. I have a dent in my skull. You can see the wires are cut and cracked. The FBI took responsibility at Altman Hospital. Okay? 3/13/21 this year at 2:53 p.m. that the agency did it, and a damn bastard neurochipped me. Mercy Medical with CAT scan with dye. Oh, God, it hurt. You see they cut the wires and the crack. Louisville police pulled in, looked over at me and said, she's got a government chip. I'm like, shh. Can officer walked by his phone and started reading my information. It's outlawed. U.S. Supreme Court 2005 18-10134. Our U.S. Supreme Court legalized abortions. Yeah. And they outlawed neurochipping. You can't go against the U.S. Supreme Court ruling. It said electronic brain links, remote monitoring. Okay. Our government recognizes illegal synthetic telepathic war weapons as an illegal strategy used by other governments for the truth to silence mind controlling chips to silence whistleblowers. Done by perpetrators as a heinous crime of assault. It's against all basic human rights and all human dignity. Okay, what did I just say? And then we have our Constitution. You have the right to remain silent, legal representation. No coerced confession is admissible. Now, last night, I walked outside. Some guy's voice I haven't heard before. I'm watching her at night. We're supposed to have been protecting her, take care of that, replace that idiot that was supposed to watch her. You taped her too, and some lady's like, yeah, I taped her. I've talked to no one. Okay? When I talked to Dave, I taped him. And when I taped him, it was during the case, and police and hire were taping too, and they sold the login across the nation to disgrace me. Yeah. And he, you know what he did? Melissa's childish. You're good to everyone, Karen. Be pretty rotten if she said something bad about you, because we're talking about she's just going to make it up. John said she was going to make it up because of the divorce and I was supposed to move out. I said it for my whole family. The whole United States know that. And yeah, and Dave defending me. Yeah, one of the things they told people, I was a woman too ugly for another man. I was a woman too stupid for another man. I was smart enough to tape Dave. And witnesses, nothing bad happened to those kids. Of people knowing they broke in and drugged me before. Witnesses of where they live at. The other ones saying stuff to me that they know I'm innocent. Oh, and even where a lady came in and I watched her think about what they did to her, she twitches. I don't want Melissa getting anything. That's okay. They knew they made everything up. They just didn't let nobody help her. Huntington Bank, the Fifth, on Cleveland Avenue. See, I'm not as stupid as they think I am. When they're ready to kill you, they'll do anything. And they run up and down like hyenas. Like the lady screamed out at Walmart. They're murderous hyenas. That's what's wrong. You know, they take right outside of. These people will never learn. I'm tired of this constant assault of people saying stuff to me in public, and they run around like hyenas. It's not funny. Now, I've never met a colonel, but where do you get a synthetic electronic telepathic war weapon that's an illegal weapon? There was an army base not 10 miles from mine. You had to get it from there or the lab, and there's some bad vehicles that if you drive by, they sit on that base. So they're involved. And it sounds stupid saying bad vehicles, but when you don't know who's in them and they yell stuff at you, they're bad vehicles. And these people want to put their dirty fingers in it. It's better not. Somebody, I went to leave and someone screamed out, "The judge found out!" These people, yeah, or I told on the one judgy for Michelle. Okay, there is a Mark's on Cleveland Avenue. Okay. March, I started having some swelling. I still have it right here on the base of my head. Okay. Two of the bad parents are inside that Mark's. Honey, I don't want her to hurt over this. Oh, she won't, bitch. It hurts killing someone. The other two girls are following behind me. We know what they tried to say about her, and it didn't work. Good and bad around me. John, when I told him I seen lights over the house, and they were flashing. Mom, they're angels, and they're fighting over your soul. I said, John, I don't mean enough to anyone. He said, Mom, you don't realize it's angels fighting over your soul. Good and bad around me. Can you describe it any better? It's like heaven and hell opened up and possessed these people's minds and souls. They have made this case like a concentration camp in North Korea. They sold the login across the nation before December of 18. People get to see me in the bathroom toilet, taped it, see me raped and tortured after I was going to get that Asian lady help that said her husband's dead. Publicly humiliated me. People get to see me go to the bathroom, get a shower, get dressed, and I can't stop it. They sold the neurochip, and people get to run around reading my thoughts. The only thing I enjoy about the neurochip is I can tell them what I think of them, and I don't have to open my mouth. And that goes back from the car. I would have never let them do it. It's even against my religion. Stabbed in the neck at 12/21/18 at the refrigerator. 4490 John Thomas. There's real cases. Real logins. Is someone going to have enough integrity to come down here and fix this? I haven't talked to that lady. I haven't talked to Steve, Eric, her, Carissa, Mark. People leave names around me. Now Henry. Don't know any of them. Only talked to Dave the 2 times. And he defended me both. Yeah, and Thanksgiving of 18. Oh, John in front of everybody in the United States. Oh, she's just going to make it up because of the divorce. Can't be anything bad. Yeah. And when during the case, I also taped Dave. Well, I want to cover all bases. I'm like, Dave, I had called John and told him I wrecked all over him. He said, you did that yesterday. I always did. So proud of him for his education. Joshy, it's never bad or horrible to you. Never said you did. Okay. The twins looked at me like I was fucking stupid. And the girls and the police are driving around when Gabe's breaking all over me. John asked me to babysit Kenzie Carrington and Noah. June to October 19th. He needed someone to pick him up from school. But I was working. Told you. Like they said, none of this is funny. 2 men are supposed to be dead, one's supposed to be crippled. I got raped and tortured. I was going to turn him in, and I got raped and tortured between July and September 19. During the case, people would break in my house. I'd wake up with black and blue marks. FBI don't use sodium pentothal. They try to use people's low IQs. It's truth serum. No, it's not. False confession, sodium pentothal. Sodium pentothal. It is, questioner gets what it wants, right or wrong. You say yes to everything. Falsely confessed to luring children, falsely confessed to writing ransom notes, falsely confessed to crimes too, falsely confessed to Pearl Harbor, false memories implanted with it. And then illegal sodium pentothal, FDA prohibits any use in humans and not to be brought in the United States. If you Google lethal sodium pentothal, it's used in putting animals down, humans, and anthrax. They don't let it in the United States. So hard telling what was in those needles. I may have a septal infection in my heart. None of this is funny. You know, maybe if you're Jack the Ripper, Jim Jones, Kim Jong, Anthony Sowell. I mean, Ariel Castro that took those other women in Cleveland. You'd find stuff like this funny. Jeffrey Dahmer. People with normal mental capabilities do not find any of this funny. They work for that occult, that judge. And I've heard of that colonel before. I never met him, never had him in my home. Never had no mama's attorney friend. And when I talked to Dave, he defended me. And I taped it. Oil and water don't mix. And the police and hire were taping too. I just want to, when they're trying to kill me, someone's going to lie, just cover all bases so that everybody was fine. And then they came up and told me they found her lying and blah, 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 blah. And the people are admitting that the kids, besides Flora, the kids in the apartment building before mine, second, apartment close to the fence, they even knew they were lying. Then she had known Dave drugged me before. I didn't know. Well, it makes more sense that I was throwing up all the time. They had to leave hints. When you're roofied, you don't remember. And then the lady on Fairlawn Street, middle apartment, screamed at him right before May 25th. It's not funny. The church people broke in before, drugged her, and told her to say she's a weirdo. And then May 25th, Louisville, a Wendy's taping audio in front of a bunch of people in town. It wasn't funny what the church people did, breaking in, drugging her, and telling her to say she's a weirdo molester. That's not funny. No, it's not. So if you have any other tape than I have, and I haven't met you, you're a black and blue mark or a roofie. Either way, you drug and kidnap me. You want to go to jail for this, right? Somebody needs to get down here. None of this is funny. It's a mob scene down here. Like they said, they're murderous hyenas that are following me around. It's going to be a lynch mob if you don't get down here. It's not funny. None of this is. Dave said right before Brielle was born, 10/19/18, I had called the FBI around the 1st of October. Within a week before she was born, I called and left a message for that agent. Dave was outside. Dixie and the baby are next. We'll teach Josh a lesson for letting her down there. He's so angry he got his hands off so he couldn't work anymore before they had a list. And it's like, over my dead body, you bastard. Okay? Then he told me, Karen, realize I'll kill everything you ever loved in life. He likes to make it look like accidents, like the tires coming off when they're driving, weird car fires, slash tires, or he loosen the lug nuts again, play with the brake system so his tires explode. Yeah, he thinks he's funny. Just like the attempted kidnapping, the attempted carjacking, following around, tell me go that way. It's not funny. Or the attempted break-in, and he knew where the security system was, and the officer was in his face. None of this is funny. And then him getting caught around Christmas of 18, a shooting night, where the FBI investigation got caught on tape and audio, how they killed those people. And there's gunfire going out, laser into living room, lights crossing out back, and I'm hiding on the floor not to get killed. And that lady, I told you where to find her. Said her husband died that night. None of this is funny. They said both those men are actually dead, and one man said he's crippled. None of this is funny. I faced complete horror. And in between that, these jackals were breaking in, and I'd wake up with black and blue marks on my legs. FBI don't use sewing. They don't. I even talked to police and prosecutors. They don't drug anybody because the fifth would be thrown out. No horse confession is admissible. Let alone they knew they played with me before. Because the only thing Dave and I talked about was she's childish. That's what he called her. Melissa, you're good to everyone. I even laid my life down to save my family. And almost got shot in the head driving phase 6 stalkers and all the horror of these hyenas. And they're won't stop. Now someone needs to come down here and help. This isn't funny.